Welcome back to another episode of Black Hollywood Live Next. Of course, this is the only place where you're going to hear from who's up and who's coming. The guest we have on the show today, the one and only Alano Miller. You've seen him on Underground as Mr. Cato, and you want to punch him in his face because he's so mean on that show. But he's an awesome actor. Stay tuned. We're talking about Drake. We're talking about Beyonce. We got so much stuff going on right here on Black Hollywood Live Next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live Next.
Hey, welcome back. Of course, it's Friday. Black Hollywood Live. We've got Drake playing. Views by Drake came out today. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about our guest for today, Alano Miller. You've seen him on the one and only WGN's Underground. I love his character.
Aww.
He's so great. Give it up, Alano Miller.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Woo, welcome. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Please, thank you for having me.
You're so awesome. Let's talk about a couple of things going on in the world, and then we'll get all in your business.
Okay.
All right. You cool with that? So a lot of people know what went on this past week with Beyonce. She released her Lemonade visual album. She went on tour. And on top of that, Beyonce's Lemonade is now up for an Emmy consideration.
Yeah.
Which is huge. That's what we want to talk about in casting. It's actually in the variety special category, and they're also saying that she could probably be a shoo-in for the consideration in the lighting design, lighting direction category.
Okay. All right.
A little different.
A little different.
That's kind of dope, though, to be like, hey, I'm a multi-selling singer, and I have an Emmy.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
I mean, she's a genius. I won't take that away from her.
What did you think about Lemonade?
I mean, I'm a little torn. I'm not gonna lie. I think if you are a woman, especially in this day and time, brilliant. I mean, you should be throwing Beyonce in the air, like
right.
Beyonce, light it up. But you know, there are moments where I question some of the reasons behind the choices she made, I mean, I think all in all, the part where she's carrying the bat and she's doing that whole song, or the underwater. I mean, she has so many visuals, and I think some of the poetry is dope too. But there were just moments I was like, "Are you stretching to make this, more
you
about
think?
now?" I don't know. Sometimes I had to watch it twice just to make sure. I mean, there are moments where I feel like maybe she might be stretching just a little bit, but I definitely think that she's genius. I think that the poetry is beautiful, and I think for what she's talking about with digging into women's lives and relationships and love and pain, all that is important.
I know, yes. Every woman was like, yes, Beyonce!
See
and then, of course, you see at the end when Jay-Z and her have a touching moment, you're like, wait.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And they're probably
we
both
forgiving
laughing
them
at
now.
y'all. They're probably both laughing at y'all, right?
Right. Because we got to get information. If Beyonce said that we leaving our man, then we leaving our man. But Beyonce said we staying with our man. We staying with our
No, don't you listen to Beyonce.
I know, right?
Don't
That's
you listen to her.
what it feels like. Oh, Beyonce said we staying? Okay, we staying.
Nah, don't you listen to her.
Let's talk about what's up in Fresh Beatz. So today, the highly anticipated album from Drake, Views, dropped. It's 20 different songs. It's his 4th studio album. He's got different guest features like Rihanna, Future, Pimp C. I was like, what is it? Like, it's amazing. So I wanted to play a couple of songs. This is Western Road Flows. I kind of like this.
Feel like I never say much, but man, there's a lot to know. Feel like the difference between us really starting to show. I'm looking at they first.
That's old Drake right there. That's old Drake.
Right.
That's mixtape Drake.
Yes, very true.
Like you a reason for celebration. You number one and I'm Eddie Murphy. We trading places.
I love it. Okay.
He's real. I mean, he's growing so much. He is that potential. I mean, it's the same thing with Beyonce. Remember when she was in Destiny's Child? Every song, every note she was running and everything.
Right.
Now she's pulled back. She's gotten more grounded. The words even mean more to her. She's even performing it with such ferociousness.
Yeah.
Same thing with Drake. Drake started off, he was good, but I think now his swag, his confidence, his potential of what he's really digging for, and even in his stage presence. Because I remember first time I saw Drake, I was like, hey, bro. Hey, can I direct you right now, bro? Nah, but he kills it. I mean, he's killing it now. One of my favorite rappers.
If you would have told me that Wheelchair Jimmy was going to be like the world's biggest rapper, I would have been like, yeah, right.
Degrassi was not cool.
It wasn't. Like, for him to be this great rapper. And then here's another song on there. I mean, the songs on on Views is very, it goes from slow, you got to get some tissues to dry your eyes, to like, some little club bangers. So let's play Controlla. That's number, I think, 11.
Do things when you want me to. Controller.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
You know, he had some vibes coming from Rihanna. It's like, my homegirl. Let me get a little more Caribbean for my Caribbean people.
Yeah. Big up.
Big up. Yes, so go ahead and cop that. It's on iTunes exclusively. Views by Drake.
I need to go home to Jamaica then and see them dance to this song. It's gonna be off the chain.
Wait, are you really Jamaican?
I'm half, yeah. My father's from Hanover, Jamaica.
What you gonna do?
You see me.
How often do you go back?
Well, I try to go back at least once every like 2-3 years, but because it's I'm now on the West Coast, so it's a lot harder than when I was in Florida. You know what I mean? And you just go over there, and it's like you're with your father. But there's special times when I go to Jamaica.
What's your favorite Jamaican food?
Ooh, well, it's definitely curry something. Curry goat, most likely.
Yes! That is my every time I go to a Jamaican spot, curry goat.
Curry goat is my thing.
That is in the pineapple ginger drink.
Oh yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's it. You can't even have it without that.
It's not even okay if you don't do that.
Some plantains, you gotta have it.
Right. Rice and peas.
Rice and peas. Just about this. You trying to take the words out of my mouth? Come on now.
Man. All right, let's talk about
some roti.
Yes. So, okay, you grew up in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
The youngest of 8 kids.
Youngest of 8.
So what was that like growing up? Did you always know you wanted to be an actor?
My mom started me off at a very age. Here's a funny story is that I was actually a Gerber baby.
Really?
Yeah, but I was a girl. I was a girl.
My
God! They dressed me up in pink and they put a little bow in my hair.
Wait, do you ever post these pictures on your Instagram?
Absolutely not. Well,
Why?
I think that one was burned on purpose. I don't know.
We gotta find this, you guys.
Ain't no way you find it.
If you find this Gerber baby picture of Alano as a baby girl, use the hashtag BHL Next so we can pull it up and look at it.
So I did that, and then my mom. I was a public speaker actually at the age of 5. I was doing public speaking. I was traveling around the country doing motivational speaking for the youth, and I was doing oratorical contests and things like that. And my mom always was like, she used to be in the theater. She said when she was younger, and she said, I want to see you do more like plays and musicals. So she just started putting me in that, and I started singing and I started dancing. My sister is a ballerina in Atlanta.
Oh, wow. So
I just had all these, all of that going on. I was kind of pushed into the area whether I wanted to or not. I already had it in me. And plus, when you were a kid,
right.
you have these family members, people come over to your house, and then what do? Ask you to come down, wake you up out of bed, bring you all the way down, and make you perform, do that thing that you did, sing that song, So I did that for such a long time, and plays, and I went to performing arts high school, and then I did this show called Kenan and Kel, and I sat down with Kenan Thompson, and he was telling me that one of the things he wished he had done was go to school, and I thought that was a very important moment for me. So I decided that I wanted to go to college and get an education in acting, because I thought I was going to be a politician, to be honest with you, but I just really wanted to do something bigger. I felt like this bug was something that was a purpose behind it, you know what I mean? As opposed to the fame and the fortune and all kinds. I mean, of course, that would be great.
Right.
To a degree. But, it had much more stuff to it.
So then how did you make the transition to L.A.? Because you were traveling around everywhere. Like, what made you go, okay, it's time for me to go to LA and pursue this? Yeah,
so, I was doing plays in New York. In my mind, I was like, I've hit the tier, you know what I mean, the top tier for New York as far as, working. And I started doing, a little television here and there, and I hit this wall. And that wall was them deciding that they weren't going to cast series regulars out of New York. And that really frustrated me. And I remember just coming here for a month and just trying it out. Now, my first experience, just so we could be clear, my first experience to LA almost killed me.
Why? What happened?
Well, I almost got shot by a 90-year-old woman.
What?
Yeah, I have a crazy story. So,
you have to tell us this.
LA is crazy. So when I first got here, I just graduated from Purchase, and I came out here, and I actually stayed with this family or whatever, a very kind, loving family, and they introduced me to a manager, and I ended up getting an agent. Everything was cool. First 2 weeks, I was like, oh, I'm about to be, you know what I mean? I'm about to be all right. And anyway, I went with this group, with this family. One day, one of the girls used to be a part of this group called Dream. It's Puff Daddy's white girl group called Dream. It was back in the,
I remember that back in the day. Okay, yeah.
So anyway, I ended up going to a birthday party that they were throwing, and it was on this yacht. I go to this yacht, and they walk in, right? And so all the kids, they're screaming, "Oh my God, it's Dream." And I walk in after them, nonchalant, because I ain't nobody. And the kids lose their minds. So now I'm looking around like, who else is there, Well, lo and behold, they thought I was Puff Daddy.
Aww.
Yeah, so they had me sign autographs for an hour as Puff Daddy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he actually, when we made a video and everything and sent it to him, and he was laughing like, dude, I look nothing like, we're not even the same shade.
I know, right? All black people look the same, apparently.
Yeah,
you just have to be like, okay, yeah, I'll sign it. I got you.
Yeah, and then, so I end up, moving away, and I end up staying with this nice older woman. I didn't know at the time, but she had Alzheimer's, and yeah, one day I wake up and she pulled a gun out on me, and
she's like, "What are you doing in my house?"
Exactly.
Oh my God!
And I almost got shot. Yeah, and then I had to drive back. I was like, I'm done. I can't do LA anymore. So I drove back cross country to New York, and I got my feet back, wet and grounded back into the streets of what New York hustle is. So, yeah, and I thought I would never come back here again.
So then what made you come back?
Well, I mean, first my wife, she had a bit of success, and I had just enough credits that I thought I could survive here to at least get in a room, and we wanted to make sure that we had the right agency and stuff taken care of. And once we did that, I said, I'm willing to take the risk. And we came out here with no job, no nothing. And so, I mean, to God be the glory that, I 3 weeks later, I got my first gig, and that was that. And
you've been rolling ever since.
I've been rolling ever since, yeah. So it's been a blessing, but I knew that if I was going to do this, I needed to be in the Mecca. It's the same thing of if you want to do theater, you want to go to New York or be in London. You can't do that. I mean, you can do it here, but the support system is so much more in New York. So it's the same thing in television. I mean, and now people have the argument like it's in Atlanta, it's in Chicago. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's still in LA.
It's still in LA.
Like everyone's the stepchild to LA. Let's just be clear. I know no one wants to hear that, but it's the truth.
Right, for sure. So you have a theater background. What's your favorite play to date? Because you've done a ton of different plays.
Right. I would say probably Fences by August Wilson. Anything by August Wilson is probably going to be my favorite. He's a mentor of mine and someone I looked up to and I really respect. And what he has done for people of color is just important. I mean, he wrote 10 plays by decade, history, and his language and his insight and his diamonds in the rough of wisdom that he drops in every play is just fascinating. Right. So definitely. And then now I think my new playwright will be Dominique Morisseau. Okay. She's out of Detroit, and she has plays all over New York right now, and some that have hit here in L.A., and she's just a very special woman. She writes for Scandal now, apparently.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, she's blowing up.
Okay. All right. I got to check these things out.
Yeah.
So you, by the way, one of our hosts, Courtney, is not here today, and she sends her love because she is the biggest Jane the Virgin fan.
Oh.
I kid you not. Like, every time I'll call her, and she'll be like, "Hey, I'm watching Jane the Virgin." Wait. But she loves it, and she was so sad she couldn't be here because she was just like, "I'm gonna miss Alano."
Oh.
She loved your character on the show, by the way.
Thank
so
you.
sad that you died.
Twice.
Right. What was it like working on that set, especially because it's such a innovative, different show? It's one of the biggest Latino shows we have on a major station. How was that?
It was great. I mean, Gina Rodriguez is amazing.
She is, yeah.
We go way back, and my wife and her went to school together in NYU, and she just has that. Everything that you see is what you get. She is the truth. Right. She definitely is very grounded and loving and down to earth. And so that's basically, however your lead is normally how it trickles down. And she has that type of effect on her cast and crew. And so they're all that way.
That's good.
And at the same time, I think Jenny Erman just kind of gives it over to you to play and do whatever you're going to do. And so when she called me and told me she wanted me to play my twin, well, first she called me and said, "I'm going to kill you." And I was like, "Why? What did I do wrong?" And she's like, "Well, because I'm bringing you back as your twin." And I said, "Oh, that's kind of cool." Right. And I was like, "Who gets to do that? What brother gets to play that twin?" We don't get to do that kind of stuff. So we, so to play the opposite of that, and then turn out, no, he's not the opposite. He is that same guy.
Right.
such a fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's a really cool role.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your current role right now on WGN's Underground, which you can catch the recap show right here on our sister station, AfterBuzz TV, every single Wednesday. I love the show. I think it's phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's very well written.
Yes.
It's not just another slave show, as a lot of people who haven't seen it would think.
So annoyed.
Right, but it's so well written. I mean, the same, Sons of Anarchy writers are the same people. So the writing is phenomenal. But what was your audition process like to even get this?
Well, I think, people think, like it's got to be a name or someone to get these types of roles, and it's not. Joe and Misha wanted fresh faces. They kept asking for fresh faces. And so my first thing was I went and did a pre-read with the casting director. This was just off camera, just us sitting across the desk. And then after that, he brought me back for the producers and for Anthony Hemingway, the director. And that went kind of all right. Right. Because you're also having to do it your way, but then be flexible enough to do it however the director looks at it and wants it and views it and that kind of thing. And so then they decided that they wanted to bring me back again. So I came back again and I auditioned. But this time it was just for Joe and Misha, and which was a very much more intimate setting, which was a lot easier as opposed to everyone being there. And then after that, they decided to test me, and it was very interesting for me because I knew some of the guys who were there, and I questioned. I was like, are they? Where are we? What is the age of it? Like, I didn't know what we were doing. I was like, this doesn't make sense. And I went in and I did my thing, and that was it. And they called me and said, you got the job. And I lost my mind because I didn't think I was going to get it. I was like, they're not going to give it to me. And, come on, son.
Wow, that is so amazing.
Yeah. It was the biggest blessing, and it's been one of the biggest challenges for me. When they called me and told me about the show, I automatically was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I don't want to. I'm good. What's next? And then they said, no, you read it. And then they said, you're going to want to go in for Noah, but, they want to see you for Kato. And I was like, all right. So I read it, and I was like, I don't want to be Noah. I want to be Kato. I mean, I love Noah's character. I love what he represents, and I think that it's important to the story. But Kato is
ruthless
and complex and flawed and beautiful and honest and too blunt and all these things. And I want to find that humanity with that guy. How do you respect that guy or understand him or be able to change people's perspective or mindset towards an iconic character in our history?
Right.
So that was the biggest challenge, and I hope I've done something like that.
Oh my goodness, you've absolutely done that and more.
Thank you.
Your character. I think people love to hate your character because you're that good at it.
Oh, thank you.
Every week we're doing the recap here at AfterBuzz, and I was like, ugh, that Mr. Cato, I'll tell you.
Wait a minute, though. But episode 8, he's
softening up. We're not gonna spoil it for you guys who are behind, but
get on it. What's going on?
I know, right? Like, catch up on your DVRs. But I like where this is going. I'm kind of, he's giving Rosalie the eye. Softening him up. Okay, so this is good. I'm happy to see where this is going. What would you say was probably the most challenging thing about being on this show?
I mean, wow, that's a tough question. I think there's nothing that can prepare you for this show. I think, every day is challenging. You wake up I mean, for me, I had different things. Like at one point it was, I broke out just on this side of my face.
Oh, where your makeup was?
The makeup and everything.
Oh, wow.
Because there's mosquitoes that eat through the makeup and stuff, and you can't scratch it, you can't do anything. So so I would have hives down my neck and
what?
Yeah, I mean, it was that kind of stuff, like just that in itself is just a process in itself. But then, of course, the emotional aspect and the being physically worn out every single day, and we would wake up and the sun was gone already, and then we would leave and the sun would be up, but it would be the next day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And sometimes that is that's kind of jarring at times. I mean, so that in itself, and then keeping the morale up because we're exhausted and it's hot and it's But at the end of the day, I think we created such a safety net around each other and a loving set that we could get through what we've done. And people are like, well, we want more. We want like 15 or 20 episodes. And I'm like,
we're going to have to make it to freedom first, y'all.
Yeah, let's get through 10 first.
Right.
Because people can't even get through the first few. They're like, I can't watch this show no more.
It's so good. It's such a good show. Congratulations on season 2, by the way.
Thank you very
So
much.
excited to see that. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see what happens because you guys have to make it to freedom. I don't know. There's like, what, 2 episodes left?
Yes, there's only 2 episodes.
You guys can't be on the run forever.
No, I'm just playing.
We need to
I
see
don't know.
something.
We'll see.
All right, so let's talk about. I know you have a new movie coming out. Is it
Yes.
movie or is it
Movie,
Okay,
yeah.
movie Loving.
Yes.
So it seems like you tend to do different plays or shows that have some kind of meaning to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you get to have a mark in the world by saying what you want to say,
Right.
I think then you've done your job. And at the end of the day, I go, this is my legacy. This is my, this is my chance to tell, the stories that I want to be out in the world. And to do that, for anyone to take that away from you is just, it's not fair.
Right.
We already go through so much to get to get into the room, and so I say, if you're gonna do it with passion and purpose. If you don't, then it's just gonna slip by you, and then you're gonna look up and be pissed that you just settled. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to be patient. And so I was blessed to do Loving, Jeff Nichols and Joe Edgerton and Ruth Negga, and so I'm very, very excited. I've heard amazing things, and it's already at Cannes, and they're already giving it a lot of buzz. So we'll see what happens.
What's your who do you play in?
I play Raymond Green. He is the best friend to Joe Edgerton's character, who is Richard Loving. He is the so it's a white man and a black woman. They get married in Virginia in the 1950s, and they are banned from the state of Virginia. And there is a big, at the same time, civil rights movement is happening, and so this couple wasn't trying to be a part of the civil rights movement.
Right.
They weren't even. They just wanted to live together, married in Virginia with their family, and they are banned and forced to live in Maryland. And they can come back, but just one at a time. They can't come together.
Crazy.
Yeah, and as it goes, the Supreme Court turns it in. Next thing you know, the interracial marriage is legal. And now the state has their slogan is like Virginia, the love state.
Right.
And it's because of loving.
That's so awesome.
So I get to play his best friend, and it was amazing to work with Joe Edgerton. He's a beast.
Right.
He's a beast. And Jeff Nichols is just, he loves to flip his hair. Let's do another take, kind of thing. But everybody was amazing. And another guy who believed in fresh faces, didn't want to do this thing where we're trying to star everything out for no reason. And I believe that we are in that time now. It's a renaissance that we're a part of now. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, when does this come out, by the way?
November 4th.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's Oscar season too.
Yes.
Too, so cross my fingers.
Oscars, we're putting it out there for you.
Yeah.
What's your dream role or a dream person to work with?
Ooh, that's tough. I have so many directors that I love to work with that I really, really respect, just for different things that they do. I'm not really big into biopics, only because they don't tend to tell the truth.
I know there's always like multiple sides to the story.
It's like, come on, son, he's not that clean. Come on. But I like flawed characters. I like the more flawed, the better, I think, because then we can really see how they found their strength. You know what I mean? Which is important. I don't think just having it isn't. No one cares that you just have it. That's,
right.
Well, kudos to you, but I want to see the journey, and so. I think, probably I would love to do a romance soon. I would love to do, if I could play, Muhammad Ali or Barack Obama or something like that. I would love to do something like that. I have different views on both of them and those guys and how to approach them. And I think, to watch someone like, for instance, Muhammad Ali, who has been seen as, loud and ferocious and proud and all those things. I love to see him when he lost his title and he couldn't box anymore, and that broken man to have to almost beg Joe Frazier to help him. get his title back. That's a different Muhammad Ali than we've never seen. And so that is the kind of, structure I would love to attack.
I think you just put out your first produced movie. I think that's what.
No, it's not my first produced. What
have you produced?
I produced a film that came out this year at Sundance, actually.
Really?
Sundance, yeah. It was my wife and I. We did a movie called How to Tell Your Douchebag. Yeah, I wasn't in it. My wife was. She was one of the stars in it. Written and directed by Tahir Jeter, and we got to Sundance, and so did very well. We just sold it. Can't say who, but
congratulations.
Should come out this fall, so I'm very excited about that as well. Yeah,
Look at you. You're just so busy. What are some of your hobbies that you do outside of acting? When you have time, if you ever have time.
Right. I love playing basketball. I love. I'm a gamer, of course, at times, because those are things that get me off my mind. So I don't have to think about things.
Like what kind of game? Like a Halo type of game, or
yeah, I love Halo. I love shooter games. I love sports, especially like basketball, that kind of stuff. Sports, soccer, baseball, kind of thing. But I'm also the other games like puzzles, like Tetris and quizzes and things like that. I love that kind of stuff, and I'm a big reader. I love reading, but not specifically novels. More so biopics. More so things that are going on all over the world. I want to be able to research it and find things out. I mean, my whole cast would tell you that I come up with some of the craziest things.
Wow.
I was like, I just read an article that there's brain-eating amoebas inside the water, and they're like, come on, dude. I'm like, but it's true, They love that. But yeah, I'm into that kind of stuff. Yeah.
What's the last book you read?
Well, obviously, it had to be a slave one at this point. I've read so many of those. Probably the Bullwhip Days was probably the last one that we had to do that I read.
Wow.
That was actually because of Journey kept talking about it all the time. I was like, all right, I'll read this book. Let's see, Oscar. What was it? What is his name? I can't think of the name right now. I cannot think of this name. It's a really good book. It's about a kid who lives in Dominican Republic, and we see his life. Like we know he's dead, but we watch him how he gets to that moment. And it's I think it's called Oscar Wilde or Oscar or something. And I just you nodding your head. You know what I'm talking about. So that's probably one of the other books that I love too. That was really great. Yeah.
That's good. Look at you.
Oh, and I also play, I play piano and stuff like that. That also helps me as well, because I like to sing and play, and I used to play saxophone. So anything with music, I also do that just to have fun, not to record. I'm not a recording
artist. I was going to say, why wouldn't you just, you've done Broadway, you can sing. Why wouldn't you make a...
I'll do it when it comes to work, but I respect what those artists do. That's a really tough, I think a lot of times people wake up and they think they're going to do that thing. I go, what you do for a living, this is tough right here. This is not easy, and I respect what you do. As a host, I wouldn't just say I can do that. No, you have to put in your 10,000 hours, and I believe in that.
I believe that too. But I thank you for saying that. That was really nice. But if you have a passion for something, obviously you're good at singing. You can play piano. Why wouldn't you just, one day, hey, I'm gonna write my wife a ballad and sing it?
I did. I actually did that twice.
Okay.
And every anniversary, she's like, "Where's my song?"
See, there you go.
Nah.
All right. So you always, speaking of your wife, you always post pictures of you guys on your Instagram. You guys are so cute.
Thank you.
Together. How do you make your marriage work in Hollywood? Because it seems like it's so hard.
But not being Hollywood.
Okay.
Like, for instance, we moved to Pasadena because, we love the fact that no one cares about you at all.
Right.
You walk into a restaurant and no one turns their head and says, "Who is that? I wonder who's that?"
Right.
They don't care. They're into their kids and to their own world. And I think that was our big state. Also, just being able to say it's not about anyone else. It's just us against the world. And so,
that's good.
We hang around each other all the time. We, support each other. We're at auditions with each other. We're wherever it is.
Good.
Absolutely. And so she's, my partner, and she's my partner in crime, and she's everything else that, you need in order to survive. Anything else is just... Everything else just is kind of in the way. And, and so we focus on making sure that our marriage is strong, because there's just too many other things in the world that are trying to break it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm, not that I'm against, white love or interracial love or anything like that, but I do love black love, and it's important that
Go
we
ahead,
show
black
that.
love.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I was going to say, sometimes you'll hear people talk about how they don't necessarily want to date somebody in their same, in the same profession.
Yeah.
Because there's pros and cons to everything. What are some of the pros and what are some of the cons of dating somebody in your profession?
Well, I mean, money, obviously, in this one. You just pray one of us is working.
Right.
Unemployment checks can go but so far.
Right.
But, I think even in that situation where Dwan and I, we have been broke, very much so, but we have found ways to, because we're so creative, to love each other creatively.
Right.
And so that is actually something that's very special. You don't have to spend all this money to do something where it's simple as taking, on a picnic,
right.
or just taking a long walk or whatever, and talking about your dreams and everything, and how it is all going to change soon. I mean, but also, there was that moment where I'm working and she's not, and she went 3 years without, before she got shots fired, and going through that journey with her, that process with her, and her deciding if she was going to continue or if she wanted to just be a writer, or if she wanted to do this or she wanted to do that. It was tough at times, but I think it is about encouraging each other and
right.
praying with each other and making sure that you keep saying, nope, this is what you're supposed to do. Don't worry, it's coming, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you're covered. You don't have to go and do all these other things. You can focus. Just stick with it, you know what I mean? I think when you're in those kind of relationships, the other person gets, what's going on. And then I can bring her on set and she understands. Or if I'm gone too long, she understands. Or if we have to be separated for a month, she understands because she's in this industry and she knows what it takes that, in order for us to move forward, you know what I mean? For us to produce a film,
right.
you know what I mean? We had to, you have to make sacrifices. You have to do things in order to make it all work. And that kind of understanding and that kind of grace is what I think is going to take, and a lot of communication, a lot of talking, and a lot of being upfront, a lot of no lies, no half truths, none of that kind of stuff. Just being very upfront, and also, we're very brutal to each other as far as acting, not like just being like, let's just be honest. Like,
you suck. That was good.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, hey, you want this job or do you want this job? Like, make a decision. Step up. Dig deeper. What do you, and all those things I think are important. And people, they think, well, how can you be that way with each other? But I think you have to be if you really are. Remember, you're two swords trying to sharpen each other. Right. It is about connecting and sharpening. It's not about coddling. You just can't be in relationships with that. You got to be completely bare and raw with your partner, I think, in order for you to go to the next level. Yeah.
You're just sharing all these nuggets of wisdom today, Alano. I'm telling you, you're going to write a book about this. Well, let's talk about what are some other upcoming projects that you have?
Well, I have...
Besides the book about relationships that you done.
So I just shot, this is going to be so much fun. I just shot an episode of Atlanta. It's a new series, Donald Glover's new series.
Okay.
It's on FX, and I think it comes out this fall. Yeah,
nice.
And I'm doing comedies. So if that's going to be a different, thank God, I get to not do some drama right now. For right now, there's a couple things that I can't talk about, but are about to happen, and we'll see what happens with that. And I'm excited. I think that this is going to be a very, very amazing year for minority actors, for the industry. It's going to be exciting. And I'm also, my wife is, we're producing another film. It's called The Truth of Miss Marshall, and that's going to be shooting in August, and with a different director, because we believe in bringing new actors, giving them a chance, bringing new directors and writers, giving them a chance, and just giving, because that's the thing. Everyone keeps saying, well, what are you doing? What are you doing to talk about diversity and da-da-da-da? And I'm going, well, I'm producing. Right. And I don't have to be in it.
Right,
you know what I mean? I want to help other people find their way into this industry so that they can have a chance to shine, because I believe there's enough room for all of us.
Exactly.
And my wife and I are finishing up on a script that we wrote that we're hoping that we get to finally act together in. So
I was going to ask you about that. I was like, have you guys ever done anything where, have you ever done a play together, anything?
No, we've done a reading together. That's about as close as we've gotten. But people have asked, and we've written, I think, a very, very special piece.
I
So I'm
can't
very
wait
excited.
to see this.
We're doing a fantasy thriller, so we're doing something completely different than, and taking a chance on changing genres and messing with them and doing something special. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, this is gonna be dope.
Okay, good
Trust
stuff.
me.
Well, before we get out of here, what is one piece of advice you would want to give yourself when you first started this journey?
Be kind to yourself. You know, this at the end of the day, none of this is it's all about being patient and being kind. Be relentless towards your goals, yes. But, you know, when all these things are going on outside in the world, there are bigger things that are more important than this industry. Everything doesn't surround it.
Right.
Don't get lost in all of that. Don't focus just on that. Be hopeful, yes, you know, keep going after it. But when you fall and everything doesn't go your way, back off and just be kind. Go see a movie, watch some animation film or something, watch a comedy, whatever. Go or just volunteer. You know, feed the homeless, help some of the kids that are out and about that need to be tutored and, you know, mentored and stuff like that. Put your energy in connecting with people, because those experiences are going to build you to be a better artist, a better human being, and make the world a little better.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, where can we find you on social media and on the internet?
Okay, so I do have Instagram, same old Alano Miller, one and only, and the same thing, Alano Miller on Twitter as well. So yeah, I'm same thing in Facebook. Say Alano Miller. It's just Alano Miller.
It's just Alano. Just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. No, there's only one Alano Miller.
Well, that's easy. You know how many Megan Thomases are? I have to change my name so many times.
I mean, I put my name in and no one pops up. It's
a blessing. It's a blessing, Alano. It's a blessing. Although, you know, I don't think they make too many, like when you go to the generic places and they have like everyone's name. I'm sorry, Alano. That's what, see, I get those.
Take on whack names like
Alan.
And Keven.
What, Kevin?
I know.
That's okay. It's all right. You won in the social media race. You won. And of course, I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, everywhere on your social media. Make sure you use the hashtag BHL Next every single week. We have guests here. Let us know who you want on the show next. We love you guys. We'll see you next week right here. Bye.
Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African-American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.